I'm in the healthiest relationship of my life, and people don't tell you about the growing pains, because I'm with a who's making some sense. I didn't even know that existed. I'm used to being the victim, and now I have to say sorry? Excuse me? No. I didn't know that was in the terms and conditions. I'll be fighting with this man, and I'll be like, I hate fighting with you. He's like, it's not a fight, it's a misunderstanding. I'm like, okay, all right, don't correct me, okay? Don't I said what I said, all right? Then I'll be having a whole speech prepared on why I'm right and he's wrong, and this motherfucker will hit me with, you know what? You're actually making some valid points, and I'm sorry. Excuse me? I'm not making any points. I'm talking for talking's sake. You're actually right. Stand up for yourself. I'm a bitch.
The average real man does not need to go get therapy for the battles and the burdens he's carrying inside. What he needs is for those that he's carrying them for to recognize that they're there and to respect it and to be grateful for it. You have no clue the burdens and the that most men are carrying inside and not even showing you. I wish more women understood that. And he don't know how to express them, and he don't know what to do about it. And he figures if he puts it out there and communicates it, he's just going to be shot down, called a fool, called weak. So he carries it inside.
A lot of modern women continue to say that men aren't putting forth effort. Yes, I am. I'm just not giving you the effort. Because you want some BS.
I see a lot of Christians advocating for Christian dating apps or encouraging other believers to go on multiple dates because their future spouse isn't going to appear out of thin air, so you have to put yourself out there, right? And what really bothers me about this advice is we never see one example in scripture where God goes and tells a man to look for his wife or a woman to go and search for her husband. What we do see in scripture is both men and women walking in obedience to God and faithfully fulfilling the mission that God has gave them. And along the way, God crosses their path with that person. Adam did not go looking for a wife. He didn't even know a woman existed. He was tending to the garden, naming the animals, and in God's timing, he literally brought Eve to Adam. Isaac did not date around. He was faithfully stewarding the life that was in front of him. Jacob was working as a shepherd. Moses was in exile, and Ruth was diligently working the land that God brought her to. None of them made marriage their mission. Obedience to God was their mission. Now, I'm not saying the desire for marriage is wrong, but scripture does not present marriage as something for us to chase. It presents it as something that God often provides while we are faithful. This distinction is so important because when you make marriage the goal, you will often find yourself compromising, growing desperate, and even elongating your season of singleness. Take the Israelites, for example. They were only supposed to be in the wilderness for 11 days, but because of their idol worship and discontentment with their current situation, they ended up being in the wilderness for 40 years. When your focus and goal is to be obedient to whatever God has called you to do, you are then formed into somebody who can actually steward marriage well. So please, get off the dating apps. Stop going to church events only to find your future spouse. Stop trying to rush this beautiful and necessary season of singleness and start walking in obedience to the calling that God has over your life.
I'm not gonna hold you. Having a homegirl will literally make you never trust a again. Like that they be telling me, they be letting me know they doing, they be having boyfriends and be calling me like, friend, is it wrong if do you think what do you mean yo at home he just made you mad so you finna go get crushed? And these be thinking, oh, it's your past relationships. It don't got nothing to do with my ex. Yes, my ex wasn't. But have you met my homegirl? That ain't shitter. On top of that, I'm so scared of being used. My homegirls be having like 5 different sending them money, selling these dreams. And these ain't never crushed. Some of them ain't never even linked. So the answer is no, I don't trust you. And no, I don't believe shit you say. And no, I cannot send you money for lunch. It ain't got nothing to do with my ex. It got everything to do with my homegirls. These was sent from.
Men have started going their own direction and quit fixing the mistakes and the foolishness. And some of the stuff is not even a mistake. It's just you doing whatever you want to do and expecting a man to save you. And when I, as a man, have stopped doing that, My life has gotten a lot better.
The men being prescribed the red pill, what they're hearing often is, let's blame women that they are hypergamous. Let's blame women that they sometimes want a man that's good looking. Let's blame women that they want someone who makes a lot of money. Let's blame women for liking alpha males and not liking me. That's something that I see so often with what people take the red pill descriptors as, and they internalize it towards maybe their own low self-esteem or their own inability to attract women. And instead of working on improving themselves to become attractive to women, they point the finger and they say, how could women be like this? They should like me. And now they're mad at women's preferences.
And that's how we're going to stick it to the men.
Something I didn't really anticipate in my life being single is that the more successful you get, the more single kind of hurts. You would think it would be the opposite. I don't know if I want to admit this on camera, but maybe somebody else is feeling like this and maybe they need to hear it. Okay. I am a very independent person. I pride myself on, like, I can do anything alone. You've seen me talk about it on here. But I'm at a point in my life right now where I am arguably the most successful I've ever been personally. I own my own home. I'm in my dream show in Las Vegas, about to start a top secret new project that is the first of its kind. Been doing commercials left and right.
The men won. They won.
Ladies, I know some of y'all just can't wrap your mind around that feminism is the reason for your burn.
This might piss some people off, but I just want to take a moment and say, thank goodness that so many of us are waking up to the fact that modern day feminism is a literal scam.
I'm trying to wrap my head around how us women were really brainwashed to believe that we were sticking it to the patriarchy by showing off all of our skin and making ourselves super available for sex, where we're going to have with you if we feel like it. No commitment needed. You don't have to do anything for us. We're just going to do it. And that's how we're going to stick it to the men. The men won. They won because we tried to stick it to them and tell them and show them how powerful we are and whatever by making ourselves more accessible to them and giving ourselves away freely to them. Like, what level of brainwashing did we go through? They won. They won.
Well, honestly and truly, most of these modern women want to get their hearts broken by Chad and Tyrone. For the rest of us who actually want to improve on ourselves, we're going to go somewhere else and do that. And that's what today's sponsor, Anson Belt and Buckle, helps you to do.
Men will genuinely wait for the woman they truly love. If a woman tells them, I don't know if I'm ready for a relationship, if the man truly loves them with all of their heart, he will tell her, I will wait for you. Most men do not do this for just every girl. When they say they will wait for you, they genuinely love you. And when men, they don't just hand out yearning. They don't hand out this. It's not a feeling men want to feel. Yearning is not a feeling someone wants to really genuinely chase. So if a man will willingly do that for you, you mean the world to him. He would rather wait months or even years for you than lose you. He would rather do that. He is so willing to be with you that he will wait for you. So for any women watching this, when you tell a man, I'm not ready for a relationship, and he tells you, I will wait for you, please don't take that for granted. That is not something men generally do. Please give that man a chance.
A lot of these modern women like to comment on a man's masculinity. And if that's what you want to do, that's fine. Well, I believe a man should be this, and this, right? But I think the problem is a lot of these modern women really don't have a concept of what a man is. You can have an opinion, but the unfortunate thing for a lot of these modern women is their opinion is wrong. Their opinion of what a man is and what a man should be is wrong. That's not actually how a man works. That's not actually how masculinity works. They don't know that. They're just talking about what they read in some book somewhere.
Every day, women come on this app and tell you they hate their husband. I don't care if this has been ingrained in you since birth. I can't imagine how good of a marriage you have. You have so much resentment that your man can't even have a nap. You both have a kid, not just you. God forbid a relaxes. I bet when you're taking your nap, he don't sit there like, let me record a TikTok and tell everybody how much I hate you, how much I can't stand when you take a second to yourself to relax in my presence. Embarrassing. This is why marriages don't last, because everybody thinks that this is the content you should be sharing. This is despicable, and I can't imagine posting some like this and having my man see it. This is disgusting mindset. God forbid a relaxes. I can't stand women that act like this, and it's almost all of them. She probably has everybody in the comments like, yes, queen, yes, queen, yes, this is how I always feel. God forbid.
I expect princess treatment, Zaid. Trips, gifts, the full package.
Princess treatment requires a prince, and princess have standards.
I meet the standards. Look at me. I'm young, I'm beautiful, I'm the prize.
You're describing depreciating assets. Beauty fades, youth expires.
So, I bring energy, I bring vibes, I inspire you to be better.
I don't need an inspiration, Miriam, I need execution. I don't pay the mortgage with vibes.
You are so transactional, relationships aren't business.
Marriage is the biggest financial contract you'll ever sign. If it's not a business, why does it end up in court?
I bring me. I'm the table. You are lucky to sit here.
No, Mariam. I bought the table, I paid for the chairs, I own the house the table sits in.
You are not the table, you're a guest, and guests can be replaced.
Excuse me?
Finish your dinner. I'll call you an Uber. Know your position.
Dear men, why do some men ghost women? I'm genuinely asking. I'm not talking about situations where you've been on 1 or 2 dates and you realize this thing is not going to work. I'm talking about situations where you've been speaking consistently, going out on dates, talking every day, probably even been intimate like once or twice or more. And then one day, nothing. No explanation, no conversations. You stop picking her calls, stop responding to her messages, and that's it. Silence. For the longest. It's something I hear a lot, especially recently. I mean, is it because you're no longer interested and maybe you're trying to avoid conflict? Could it be because you don't want to have an uncomfortable conversation? Or is there a perspective that us women would not understand? Because I'm sure there's a lot of women on here who would like to hear it as well. My ladies, before we turn this into a man bashing session, that's not what this is. And what I've heard too, some women ghost, but we'll come back to that, another time. Today is specifically for the men. Personally, I think honesty is kinder than silence. But again, this is not me judging. This is me asking you to please help the women understand. If you've ever done it before, or you know someone who ever has, what was the reason? We are waiting to read your comments.
Ask you a question. Both of y'all, you saw a guy you like, right? Aesthetically. He looked the way you want him to look. 6 foot tall. He make a lot of money. On day one, he said, hey, look, I give you a better life, help you start a business, even get your body right. But you got to exercise almost every day. Let me see who your friends is. You got to cut off the people who I tell you to cut off. You got to stop hanging out and going out so much. Soon as he meets you, he tell you that. Would you want to be with him?
No.
Would you want to be with him?
I don't think so.
Which is crazy. That's a deeply rooted disdain for male leadership. Listen to this. After a breakup, what do? You start cutting off friends. I'm going to self-develop. I'm going to work out. I'm going to cut people off. I'm going to stop hanging out over here. This man can come in your life and tell you to do all that, and you like, nah, I wouldn't even deal. But when you're trying to level up and self-develop, those are all the things you do anyway. But you just said if a man came right in and gave you that infrastructure, said, I give you the life you want, said you will have your business, said you will have your body. Both of y'all was like, nah. But again, this is exactly the things y'all do when y'all are self-developing after a relationship. So why is it that a man coming in on day one with the same provision telling you to do the things that you say you do anyway when you self-develop? So you know they're the right things to do. You know that's the right thing to do.
He's so lame. He was showing me his fridge because he went to the grocery store, and he was like, I was like, damn, that's a lot. And he was like, well, yeah, I eat a lot. And I was like, well, yeah, that makes sense. Firefighter, huge. That makes sense. And then he was like, yeah, I'm a big eater. Oh my God. Please pass away. And my condolences. Like, out of here.
Am I missing something, Shorty? So now we can't even have casual conversations with the shorties? Shorty just said she was at homeboy crib. They chopping it up. She look in the fridge. She like, damn, there's a lot of food in here. His next response is, yeah, I'm a big eater. And then she said, is something up here not right? My nigga clearly dodged the bullet. Because what's the problem? Am I mistaking something? And then you got people in the comments, women talk about, oh yeah, I can't stand this when this type of shit happens. What type of shit happened? You know what I'm saying? He's just having a conversation.
This is actually something so frustrating to men because they hold themselves back from approaching women since they've been told time and time again that women don't want to be approached. But then here's these women wondering why men aren't approaching them while they're looking like they are having the worst time ever. Which is so frustrating because it feels like a game and meeting new people is tough enough. Especially when you don't want this to be the thing that's eliminating potentially good partners. I mean, there's already enough crazies out there, which is why I always recommend to men to do a public data check on a trusted website like publicdatacheck.com before pursuing.
As a man should never put a woman first. And the reason why I say that is because when a man doesn't put himself first, he doesn't become the best version of himself. It is impossible for a man to put a woman first and be the greatest version of himself. A man has to be selfish. And the one thing about masculine energy love giving. So as I build myself up, it trickles down from me onto the next person after me, which is my woman. Women benefit when a man is selfish, meaning he's about his business. He has to. He's going to miss time. He's going to miss events with the children, but he has to build. In order for that man to love and appreciate himself, he has to be building himself. When a man isn't building, he's destroying himself. Every man that's not building is always destroying himself. What do you mean by that? Multiple women. What do you mean by that? Multiple baby mothers. What do you mean by that? Oh, smoking weed and doing drugs. We can continue this go. Every man that's not building himself up is destroying themselves. And they're doing everything that's distracting them from becoming the best version of themselves. I listen to a lot of men and I say, brother, it's not the world. It's the fact that you didn't understand that you are the king in your mind and you need to build that king that's in your mind. You need to bring him out. Otherwise, you're never going to be happy. And you're going to choose peasants and then you're going to complain about the women that you see. In reality, the higher you go up in life, the better the women you see. And they smell better too.
There's no such thing as misandry, and I refuse to ever take that term seriously.
It's absolutely amazing to me that there are still individuals out there, specifically at this point in time, actually still in denial that one particular type of bigotry doesn't exist. Because let's be very clear, misandry is a form of bigotry.
At this point, it might as well be reverse racism or heterophobia.
Ah, yes. I'm really glad they brought that up, because those are also forms of bigotry. However, I would like to clarify, it isn't reverse racism, it's just racism. You know, despising someone based on the color of their skin. That's what racism actually is.
And let's start with the fact that the only reason that the term misandrist was even popularized was so that men could have a gotcha towards women when we're talking about misogyny.
Interesting. And even if that was the case, I would like to point out that it describes a form of hatred against a specific group of people, and I might add, based on a characteristic that they have no control over. So what exactly is not worth taking seriously about hatred against a group of people? But I understand it's much easier to dismiss it if you don't like talking about it.
Male loneliness epidemic. Yeah. Do you want to know the last time a man held the door open for me? Do you want to know the last time a man wanted to see me in the daylight? Do you want to know the last time a man bought me flowers? Do you want to know the last time a man picked me up for a date? I'm sorry that I'm not jumping at the opportunity to be treated like complete. I'm I'm sorry that I'm not jumping at the opportunity to receive the bare minimum from a man. At the end of the day, I can do all those things for me, and I can do it without some man whining and moaning in my ear about it. I dated a guy one time, and he told me, well, I can't buy you flowers that much because then you're just gonna expect it, and it's not gonna be as special. Why isn't it just like a normal thing that you regularly do? And I also had to ask for flowers, and he never held the door open for me. The last time I was involved with a man that I wanted to date, he threatened to leak my nudes when I pissed him off, and then he gaslit me and called me crazy, and the whole time he was talking to a complete other girl. And also, I don't really feel like getting into a relationship and then immediately being pressured by society to get married, have children, start a family, because apparently that's all that women are good for in this day and age. And I've done the math. My life is just a whole lot better and easier without a man in my life dating me, because at the end of the day, I don't need to depend on them for happiness, and I'm way better off on my own. And until a man wants to treat me right, then I'm fine being single. So maybe do better.
So the ladies' favorite word for men today are narcissist. Narcissist is the trending word. No matter what the argument is, the men are narcissists. So I, being the investigative content creator that I am, baby, I went and looked up the word narcissist because I wanted to get a true definition. And I seen this image pop up. Behaviors of a narcissist. Lack of empathy for others. Has a strong desire for attention and admiration from others. Consistently has problematic relationships and has inflated sense of self-worth or importance. Wait a minute now. Isn't it always the women online complaining about how none of their relationships are working because it's the men? But the men be in relationships sometimes and they be happy, but y'all don't. That sounds like constantly being in problematic relationships. And then the overinflated self-worth. Everybody's a 10. Nobody's average because I'm a 10, right? And then on the other side, not having empathy for others. Girl, I'm going to do what I want to do because this is my life to live. It don't matter if it hurt him. F them kids. Y'all see strangers struggling and don't care. Right? And it is mostly women that be online half naked, acting a fool for what? Likes and views or admiration and attention. If the men are narcissists, how is it that the ladies are fitting these descriptive words so well? Why is it that these behaviors are found in so many women if the men are the narcissist? I'm trying to figure it out.
She was asking me, what is the greatest love story to guys? And women, you won't like this because no guy's getting cheated on or over, but the greatest love story for guys is Rocky. And I'll tell you why. It's a story about a guy that had a dream. He had nothing. He didn't have a lot of money, and he met a girl, Adrian. And the whole time he was training to achieve this dream, Adrian just left him the f*** alone. And at the very end, he fights in the world championship to Apollo. He loses. He's at his lowest point. He's beat up. He didn't achieve his dream, and Adrian is still there for him. She even says, she goes, "I'm right here, Rocky. I'm right here." Oh, it's beautiful, you know? It was written by a guy. Can you imagine if Rocky was written by a woman? Jesus Christ, he'd never be champion, that's for sure. It would just be 2 hours of Adrian just nagging him, why you gotta go to the gym all the time? God, this dog's gross. Can you get a little teacup? Why do you hang out with Mickey so much? Why don't you just Mickey? You like Mickey so much. The ending would be pretty similar though. Like at the end, again, Rocky would lose. He'd be at his lowest point, and then he'd call out, he'd go, "Adrian," and she'd go, "I'm right here, Rocky, I'm right here." And then he'd look, and then she would be over there with Apollo and go, "Oh, while you were working out, he was my true love, so I had to cheat on you, sorry." And then all the women would be like, "Yes, queen, live your truth, yes."
Here's the thing, some of y'all may not care about this list, but some of y'all might want to hear what these men have to say. But let's get back into it because it was a long ass list. 400 comments. Okay? Y'all are not worth it. No peace. Being attractive means absolutely nothing. Okay? That attractive women come a dime a dozen. And y'all are usually trash and nothing but problems. Okay. Always in situationships. Too many bills and too many kids. And it just goes on and on. Okay, now Of course, I am a woman's woman, but some of these concerns are valid because for what I see, a lot of times y'all do be begging and it's tacky. But brothers.
Hey man, why do you guys not stop really bad men from ruining you guys' reputation as a whole?
What a very good, and I might say, interesting question that is. However, if we were to phrase that in, say, a different light, that might actually illuminate what the problem with that question and way of thinking actually is. So, why don't more women stand up against those other women out there that are making the rest of the female population look bad? Now, upon hearing that, I'm sure there's some that are saying, that's a very misogynistic view. You can't judge the entire population of women based on the actions of some that are doing bad things. But yet, that seems to be increasingly popularized to do that to men. So I ask, don't women want to be treated the same way as men are, in the spirit of equality? Or do some actually recognize the illogical way of thinking that actually is promoted by some of those on social media? I think that's a good question.
I've always hated the conversation behind body count, like, oh, does body count matter? Because people love to say that it doesn't matter. And it does. Body count does matter. I don't know why people claim that it doesn't, or they say like, oh, if you're an adult, you shouldn't care about someone's body count. Yes, you should. Or like people will say, I've only ever really heard girls say this, but people will say like, oh, if you ask me what my body count is, I'm just gonna lie, so there's no point in even asking. Like, if you have to lie about your body count to someone, you're clearly ashamed of it. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care how childish people might think that this makes me, but it's like, in my opinion, I feel like your body count just says a lot about you as a person. Like, you could really just lay down and do that with anybody, clearly. Like, people try to normalize like and act like it's just such this casual thing, and it's really not. That's not something that you just casually do with anybody. That's why I never understood like hookup culture and all that. That's completely disgusting in my opinion. But overall, in my opinion, body count definitely does matter. I feel like your body count does say a lot about you as a person, and it's like okay to not want to be with someone that done been with everybody. Like, it doesn't make sense. If everyone can tell a story about you, I want no parts of it, because can't nobody tell any stories about me. So
the top 4 things that women want from a man. Number 1 is safety. Like, can you make that woman feel safe? Not only in the sense that you will go out there and beat somebody up if they talk to her crazy or if they mess with her, but protection. Can you protect her mind? Can you protect her heart? When you out here moving, don't do things that's going to embarrass her. Don't do things that's going to come back and shatter her confidence. Number 2, she wants a man of his word. If you cannot deliver, don't promise it. See, man, we be having the best intentions sometimes about what we want to do or what we're trying to do, and we'll lay it out there and then fall short. And every time that happens, she loses respect for you. Do what you say you're going to do. And if you can't do it, don't say it. Number 3, she wants a man that can listen. Like, your woman wants to be heard. Like, she wants to feel like my man right here with me as I'm telling this story. Or my man right here with me as I'm voicing the issues I'm dealing with, maybe on the job or, you know, with my friends or whatever. She want to feel like my man is right here with me. He on my team. Like, he on my side. We be so quick to try to problem solve that we forget to listen. Number 4, reassurance. Like, regardless of how beautiful that woman is, regardless of how accomplished she is, she need to hear that from her man. Baby, you look amazing in that dress. Man, baby, I like what you did with your hair. Like, your nails, oh man, they so pretty. Like, oh my God, like, I'm so proud of you. Everything you accomplished, you know what I mean? Everything you walking around carrying, you making it look real easy, baby. I'm proud of you. Like, she need that reassurance from her man. She needs to know that her man still values her. Her man still holds her in high regard. Like, that he feels privileged to be there. She needs to feel that. She needs to know that.
In a relationship, do you believe that the woman or the man is the prize?
I think both should be the prize. I think whoever you're dating, man or woman, you equally should always be striving to make that person feel like the prize.
Okay.
But as a woman, as a heterosexual woman, I would like to be thought of more as the prize.
Why do you think that you're the prize in a relationship?
Ooh, that's a great question. I don't know.
You gotta give me something to back it up.
Okay, so I think two things. I think the world has taught us that the woman is the prize, right? So I think if you're in a heterosexual relationship, that's the first thing. The world has taught us that men should chase the woman, which I don't always agree with, right? I don't know. I really, truly don't have an answer for you other than I think women are incredible, right? And I think we should be sought after, and I think we should be chased. I think we should be pursued consensually and respectfully. But other than that, I don't know if I have a great answer for you, because I do think that like men also deserve to feel like in relationships that they are also pursued. I think that's what keeps a relationship alive.
Simping really is for the unattractive. Like, you will never see someone who's super like traditionally attractive simping for a girl, bro. If you are attractive enough, you don't have to simp. You don't have to do all that, because the girls would be more receptive to you if you just go up and talk to them. Like, if you sit there and you just simp, you're like, oh, I bought you this, oh, I did this. They're going to think you're weird, and you're probably not very attractive if you have to do that. There is a major difference between caring for a girl, caring for your partner, and then being a simp. No one likes a simp, bro. Like, I know that's kind of an outdated term, but you will never catch me doing some simping activity, bro. Like, ever. I know I don't really talk to these girls anyway, but like, you'll never catch me be, oh, I got you this. Oh, I bought you all this stuff. I did all this. No, be nice, have good personality. Don't be a simp, dude.
Free game. And don't ever say I never told y'all anything. Men are more attracted to peace than okay? And don't let that go over y'all heads, because I be hearing women, seeing women talk about her, talk about his girl, talk about his wife. That lady is probably an angel. Okay? And beauty is in the eye of the beholder anyway. But you don't know what type of energy, peace, vibes, happiness, just being a good soul, being a good person. You don't know what this person brings, what type of value she brings. Y'all so focused on the image, the outside. The exterior is beautiful, inside is just ew. And I be hearing it all the time from these men. Yeah, she bad as she cold as body banging. Attitude ugly, energy ugly. When me and my best friend go out, it's hard to explain, because the looks that we get from other women, like last night when I went out, I got looked up and down a lot last night. I got the ugliest stares last night. This man in my face, she looking at me. Why he talking to me? Because you looking stank. I'm over here laughing, giggling, having a great time, a great ball. He's attracted to that energy. He wants some of this. Okay? Peace, happiness, love is way more attractive than what you think.
And you know, you have to understand that when you ask about where all the good men are, a lot of these men are quiet. They're right in front of you. They didn't disappear. They just quiet. I'm selective. I'm less willing to throw myself into another situation that looks and that feels unserious. You look and you feel unserious. This whole thing that we got going on looks and feels unserious. It looks like you playing around. You about to play with my money, about to play with my time. Some of these brothers got kids, and you about to play with my kids. And if you start doing that, you might have a problem.